Hello everyone, my name is Crazy Penguin with FPSGeneral, and I'm here to guide you through this basic tutorial to get you started with Defiance. Defiance is a third-person shooter MMO with a large open world set in a future Earth, initially in the Bay Area, after an alien race has invaded, and to top it all off, the Earth has also been terraformed. In this guide, I'm going to cover everything that you need to know about this game. But, first off, like any other MMO, you need to create a new character. So pick your race, origin, and your name, and once you find what you like best, hit Create Character. Actually take the time to go through the tutorial. Listen to everything and try everything out, at least for your first time through. It's only going to make the game confusing if you don't. Once you've gone through the tutorial, you will have tried out and have a good idea of how you like the 4 ego powers. The first one is Blur. It allows you to run quicker for a short period of time, and while it's active your melee will do full damage against shields. The next is Overcharge. It grants you 10% more damage, reduce recoil, and will instantly reload any gun in your hand when activated. After that we have the Cloak ability, which will hide you from your enemies and start the recharge of your shields once you've cloaked. And lastly is Decoy. It will create an afterimage that walks forward into the battlefield, drawing attention to itself and sparing you some damage, and at any time you can swap places with it, but only once per activation. Once you've made it through the tutorial section, you're pretty much set to start off in your journey to kill some bad guys and save some lives. But there are a few other things that are helpful to know when you start playing, so let's take a look at the menus in the game. First up is your loadouts menu. This is where you see your weapons, perks, grenades, and shields. You have 2 weapon slots. Neither of them are restricted by weapon type. You can place any 2 weapons in either slot. Just keep in mind that some guns share the same ammo pool, such as assault rifles and SMGs, so it might not be wise to carry 2 different rocket launchers. You also have a grenade. It's useful to toss out for extra damage or for utility depending on what type you might be using. There's also no ammo involved with them, so don't be afraid to use them often. You'll know when you can use another when you hear this little sound. You also have a shield. It's your primary form of survival. Keep an eye out for better ones as you level up. They're going to help you a ton. Keep in mind that even if it has a higher shield value, if its recharge rate is low and its delay is long, then it might not be a clear upgrade. Find out what works for you and your playstyle. The loadouts menu will also show you what power you have selected. This is your ego grid. As you level up and increase your ego rating, you'll gain more ego units to spend in here. You have your primary 4 powers that I mentioned earlier and a ton of perks that branch off from them. You spend 1 ego unit to acquire a perk, then it branches out and allows you to purchase the others adjacent to it. Once you made it to the one that you like and you want to use, you can spend more ego units to upgrade it to make it more useful for you. As you increase your ego rating, you will unlock more perk slots and be able to use more perks. The next menu that I want to show you is your map. It's simple enough, but there are a small handful of icons to get familiar with. Things such as side quests, shops, arc falls, which I'll talk more about later in the video. You can find out what all these icons mean by taking a look at the legend. Also, you can right click anywhere on the map to create a waypoint, and it will draw a path for you to help you get there. This is an amazingly great tool. It even shows up on your minimap. I pretty much use this every time I start a new quest. Once you find yourself a shop to check out, you'll eventually run across some weapon modifications. They're simple but neat things that you can use to reduce recoil or add a scope to a weapon. Before you pick out all the mods that you want to use, make sure you take a look at the weapon that you plan to modify. You should see some black boxes underneath its stats. If you don't, then it can't be modified. The options for modification are the stock, barrel, magazine, and sight. Once you've found a gun that can be modified and you have the mods to do it, then open up your salvage matrix menu and select the options. The next menu that I want to quickly show you is the stats menu. This will show you different currencies, factions, and ammo, but more importantly, this menu shows you the progress of each of your weapon types. As you use different weapons and vehicles, they rank up, and you can see what bonus effects you've gained so far and which ones you might be getting next. Of course, there are some other menus. You have the settings menu to change some of your preferences, the store to buy different items such as vehicles, outfits, or boosts. There's a boost menu to show you what boosts you might have purchased. There's also a pursuits menu to keep track of your achievements. There's a social menu for friends and clans. There is also a matchmaking menu for co-op or PvP, where you can queue for dungeons for some interesting encounters while playing with 3 others, or a Shadow War where the world is turned into a PvP area. 2 other things to take note of is your quick chat and your quick menu. If you exit the menu system, you can open them on the fly. You can perform a large number of callouts or emotes with quick chat, or invite other players as a friend or to a party with the quick menu. Another really nice menu is the intel menu, more specifically the video diaries that you can find there. As you progress through the game and you gain intel on different enemies that you've encountered, the videos will begin to appear. I suggest that you take a look at that menu every time you reach different milestones or find yourself fighting new enemies. There's a lot to learn from these videos. One other thing that you should be aware of while playing are the arc falls. If you see a huge red circle on your map, then you know where you can find one. These are random events that take place all over the world, where you can come together and fight as a group to defeat waves of enemies or boss mobs. And while you're there, you can gain special currency for different items by participating. And last but not least, my favorite feature, your own personal on-demand transportation to help you get from point A to point B. This bad boy will help you scale mountains, squash enemies, and help you arrive at any destination in a very dramatically awesome way. It's a very heavy plane without wings. Anyway guys, that's it for this beginner's guide. You should be more than prepared to explore the world if you made it this far. Be sure to drop us a like, leave a comment, and share this with your friends. Also, if you have any questions, leave them down below and we'll try to answer them the best we can. If you haven't already, you can subscribe by clicking the big yellow button, and check out some of our other content by clicking on any of the video thumbnails that you see in front of you. Thanks for watching.